whole of human history is full of secrets and mysteries. In fact, even now, in the age of science and technology, our whole world order is causing thousands of questions, many of which cannot be fully answered by scientists. Time Puzzle Crew tries to uncover some of those mysteries surrounding the mysterious places of Kazakhstan.
In March 2000, the famous Russian scientist Vyacheslav Bronnikov, the founder of the method neurovidение, allowing to develop the hidden abilities of the human brain, and the founder of the science Kosmopsychobiologia, arrived to Kazakhstan. His goal was unremarkable UNGURTAS mountain, located near the village of the same name. It seemed unremarkable hill which are dime and a dozen here. Researchers that Bronnikov did in that place at this point left him speechless. Now this area attracts hundreds of pilgrims who mysteriously call it the center of the universe. Place where souls revive. If this place is alive, why do you not go there? There are a lot of dead places, dead people, psychologically dead, dead projects. You know what I mean. What are pilgrims willing to do to be healed? You work in the city, have a family. You don't believe in such things. Work 9 to 5, go home and watch TV every day. And then they demand sacrifice of you. Do not miss all intriguing secrets of UNGURTAS in today's episode. UNGURTAS is an enigmatic place which is also called the center of the universe. For a long time, it has been heating imagination of people, making thousands of them arrive here for pilgrimage from all over the world. Our crew is heading there to find out whether it is beautiful myth, historical fact, or if it is really a anomalous zone. Hello, this is Time Puzzle with Sergei Alexeyanak. UNGURTAS is translated from Kazakh as cave stone. This place is located 80 kilometers southwest away from Almaty. It received its name because of lots of caves that dug up the surface of the hill, raising near a small village. It seems to be a usual mountain. There are a lot of such here. However, it's been known as the magic place which is able to not only heal people, but to make their dreams come true. Everything that people say about UNGURTAS, they can say it about anything. Entire our planet, every tree, every water source are rich depository, holy temple. Our planet is alive, you cannot deny it. And if this place is alive, why do not go there? There are a lot of dead places, dead people, psychologically dead, dead projects, you know what I mean. There are a lot of dead things, and if you are environmentally sensitive enough, you can feel shivers all over your skin if you go to a live place like this, without any rituals, traditions and customs. Nowadays we live in the 21st century in the modern world, in modern society. And you should understand that many of the terms and phrases, such as chakras, energy flows, the place of power, they are just words. I mean, it is a wordplay, words that were invented and devised, and it was not until fairly recently that they were given some meaning. And if we talk about the places of power in their present sense, as they are described on the internet, in books, in literature, in television, then at some point I may not agree. Because it often happens, well, as they say, religion is the opiate of the people. And it often happens that some places are given mystical properties in words only. Places of power. This term became popular relatively recently in the mid-20th century thanks to a series of books of Carlos Castaneda about the mysterious magician and warrior of light Don Juan Martis. Of course, this concept has a much more ancient roots. From time immemorial, people have noted for themselves where they experienced a special feeling associated with changes in health and consciousness. These places were usually called holy places, and places of worship were built there. Modern science often explains the nature of these points on Earth by ore deposits located there, various hot springs, or simply increased radioactivity. But among scientists, there are those who have an alternative view of what is happening. Vyacheslav Bronnikov is a Russian scientist, academician of the International Academy of Informatization, PhD and professor. President of the International Academy of Human Development. He's the founder of the science Cosmopsychobiologia, designed to combine in a single unit all the modern achievements in the field of exact sciences with the knowledge and experience that keeps the spiritual journey of humanity. In March 2000, the scientist made a number of studies on the mountaintop Aydaharata. Measurements he did showed the presence of a huge power hole diameter of up to 8 meters, literally rises from the earth to the sky. The results of these studies gave another term, the center of the universe. And these places are scattered all over the planet. White crosses are the place where the land gives a splash of white emission energy, power seeds. Black crosses are the places on Earth which take energy away, like a black hole. It would be wrong to say that UNGURTAS is the strongest place in Almaty region. I mean that I'm fully agreed with the fact that it's strong. But again, drawing an analogy, I can say the same thing, for example, about the skating rink Medeo, or for example, Charian Canyon. These are truly phenomenal places, and what the ordinary human eye is not able to see, some other people can see. Indeed, each of these places is the place of power. There are lots of caves on the way to the mountain top, and each of them has its own name and destination. Now we're in front of the cave, which is called Cave of Angels. According to a legend, it can make wishes and dreams come true. In fact, researchers carried by Professor Bronnikov identified 2 major energy points that are on the top of the Aydaharata mountain. Now we are in the middle of the holy place. There is a black stone, and we can see that it's written here Aydali Aydakarata, which means the spine of the Dragon Mountain. It was here where Vyacheslav Bronnikov did his measurements with his equipment, and these measurements proved the power of energy pillar connecting the sky and the ground. The second, the red one, stone detects the point where the energy of the sky goes into the ground. People say that one shouldn't stand here for more than 15 minutes because it can harm heart and vessels. For example, people who call themselves cosmo-energetics, they could see some energy whirlpools here. And in such situation, I can't say that they're wrong. That energy just flows upward and downward. But on the other hand, I cannot agree with them for 100%. However, there are people who hold that the presence of these miracle-working energy flows is true. One of them is Vitaly. These rocks, which are in the center of the universe, they are on the Aydakar mountain. And she told me how do they work, how they function. And if someone wants to get exact information concerning any personal questions, he should spend here 3 days and sleep 3 nights.
Здесь на 3 дня, то есть 3 ночи он должен здесь переночевать.
Vitaly has been living in UNGURTAS for 3 years. Like many other people, he came here because of personal problems which he couldn't solve for himself. As he says, he was a successful businessman, but he lost everything without blinking an eye. So I was brought here, and why did I stay? I just believed her. For my entire life I was an atheist, but then bang, and everything changed for 180 degrees, and it almost drove me crazy. But here you cannot understand everything with your brain, you can just feel. People change here. I don't know what the magic of this place is. After the sensational discovery of Professor Bronnikov, this place literally started its new life. Pilgrim flows headed here. They expected to find the healing of diseases, to find answers to the questions tormenting them, or simply the hope of fulfillment of their secret desires. But at the same time, people started to grant UNGURTAS centuries of history, giving birth to new versions and legends that try to explain the nature of this wonderful place.
По одной из легенд, это место называют святым.
One of such legends connects UNGURTAS with the name of Khoja Ahmed Yasawi, a great Sufi spiritual leader, scientist and poet.
Горой шел свое последнее пристанище.
According to one of such legends, this place is considered holy, or as they say, place of power. But why? Because as they say in this area and Kunomenal mountain, a great Sufi, Khoja Ahmed Yasawi, had gone to his eternal rest. And if some spiritual leader, a person who was shaman or Sufi spiritual leader, lived here his entire practice, his life, his rituals that he performed here, all this leaves traces on particularly this
В
place.
других случаях местом силы становится
Or sometimes his grave becomes such place of power. It is common among Kazakh people and among many other people too. Turkestan is an ancient city and it is adorned by magnificent mausoleum of Khoja Ahmed Yasawi. In 1166, here the spiritual leader of the entire Turkic world had gone to his eternal rest, and the great mausoleum, Kazrat Sultan, was built at this place. It was destroyed several times, but each time it rose from the ashes like a phoenix, and still it remains spiritual center not only for Kazakhstani Muslims, but for whole Central Asia region. Also, there is a turbine mausoleum where lies ashes of great spiritual and political leaders of Kazakh people. As we can see, the version about the great Sufi doesn't stand up to scrutiny because his spiritual path and path of life are kept safely in the annals and in people's memory, and it can be easily checked according to stored data. One more legend, which is not spread widely, connects UNGURTAS with a place that is almost 2,000 kilometers away, the town of Baikonur. So the center of the universe is not the mountain and whole area. It is a particular point on the mountain. Moreover, even the name, the center of the universe, it is some kind of term. For me, it means some gate which opens a way to other dimensions. So UNGURTAS could be the second Baikonur, and we could fire rockets into space from here. And only a few people know that spaceports are built in places similar to UNGURTAS. Why? Because the gravitation is much lower in such places, and it helps for the rocket to be pushed up from the ground surface. According to an ancient legend, musician of the 9th century, founder of Korbas, Korkut Ata, had been searching for the place where the sky is maximum close to the earth. Now it is the place where the Baikonur is located, and there he passed out. So many centuries later, worldwide famous cosmodrome was built there. Maybe modern scientific researchers have proven the words of Korkut Ata, and that place was the best place to fire rockets into space. People from all over the world visit UNGURTAS every year. Internet and the mass media are full of stories of mystical healings of people who has been here. But this is not the only feature of this place. Here people do sessions of spiritual self-perfecting, which helps them to find their place in permanently changing world. All these require committing special rituals.
Сюда разные люди приезжают.
Different people come here, and people change here. One day a person came here. He was mortally ill. Doctors just let him go home and die because he had 4th stage cancer. and he arrived here, but he was safe and sound when he returned home. Also, as in any traditions, our traditions including, this is no exception, there is the practice of visiting the places of power. I would even say, not only visit, but let's say, the discovery of such places of power. For example, one of the shamans' functional is finding such places. Apart from the fact that the shaman is engaged in healing, the healing of souls, illnesses, diseases, shaman helps not only people, but also ghosts. Accordingly, ritual practice which is not related to healing, called sacramental ritual practice. Ritual practice is a sequence of exact activities which are committed by a particular adept of some religious worship in order to reach particular goals. It can be the fulfillment of his desire by some powers that he is referring to. From ancient times, Kazakh people had this concept, baksi. It is a person who owns particular knowledge and experience which let him communicate with the other invisible world. This place was here before. This place works. However, it was Bifatima Apar who was first to learn and realize detailed information about how to work with this place. She created the instruction, that's why she is the Shirakshi of this place. Shirakshi means keeper of knowledge and practice that she gives to people today. This place has both followers and opponents. Bifatima Apar says, Bulki Liger, Kassieti Ger. This is a holy place, special place, and she feels her connection with this place. She claims that here she owns the ability to help people. People who don't believe in such things as esoteric, shamanism, magic, even they start feeling something on a physical level in such places. Without doing anything, just standing there. However, it appears differently on different people. Some of them feel really bad, some of them become dizzy or sick. Some start shaking, as in epilepsy spells. Some of them start thinking about things that never crossed their minds before. So here, as it goes, how can I explain it? Scientists may explain it with the placebo effect. Pilgrims often connect the holy mountain with personality of Bifatima Apar. She is called Baksi or Shirakshi. Her healing methods shock or even scare some people. Every day, UNGURTAS caretaker Bifatima Dawetova receives people. There is an underground mosque near her house, which she had dug by herself. There she sends all pilgrims before the ascension on the holy mountain. Our time puzzle crew also went there. Now our crew is asking for a permission from Aruaks to climb the holy mountain, which is called Dragon's Ridge. There is another place, the secluded room, the size of 3 to 4 meters, where pilgrims can accommodate no more than 5 to 6 people. Now visitors say it treats those with painful joints. Visiting the dungeon is not the only ritual which visitors pass through. The main method of treatment of Bifatima is sacrifice. You work in the city, have a family, you don't believe in such things, work 9 to 5, go home and watch TV every day, and then bang, and they demand sacrifice of you, and you have never seen such things before. Your whole life is destroyed, and suddenly a person appears who claims that you should sacrifice, according to your situation, a sheep, a cow or a horse, and you doing the sacrifice. Evil spirits get their part, spirits of light too, and evil ones go away and the good ones stay with you. And your life starts again. I don't know what the magic of this place is. This place is not enhanced by the blood only, but also the concept, the phenomenon that this place is enhanced due to the actions that carries Bifatima Apar in particular. That is the sacrificial ritual practice. Again, this is a practice that is not inherent to Islam. And in principle, and in Sufism and in Zoroastrianism, well, then again, I do not want to argue, I do not want to prove it's a pagan tradition. That is a common term for a pagan ritual practice that was before Sufism. and before Zoroastrianism. I mean, it's a wild, intuitive spiritualization of surrounding space, so to speak. I mean, she causes stress, which in its turn changes a person's mind. And if mind was changed, it causes changes in whole life. Unfortunately, daily commotion presents even in such spiritual places that help people to develop in spiritual way. Last years have brought split off in the life of UNGURTAS, and now Aida Karata is surrounded by metallic fans. Her apprentice bought the part of the mountain and now it is commercialized. Here again a controversy. I do not know why it happened, how Fatima Apa is woven into this situation. And we do create our reality, don't we? And it should hit us somehow. I mean, now we as consumers of this power, we have to choose whether we go to new Shirakshi or to the old one. Now part of the pilgrims climbs to the mountain which is called Beishi Ana. Beishi Ana and Aidakar are the mother and the son, and logically one should go to the mother first, and only after to the son. All the spirits now are on the top of Beishi Ana. According to the words of Fatima Apa, all the spirits left her. After mountain, Aida Karata fenced in because spirits can't stand any limitations. Now we are going to the mountain where Aruaks remained. Aruaks. According to Kazakh traditions, this word means spirit of an ancestor who helps a person in a hard situation and helps him to make a choice, make a decision. In everyday life, Aruaks guard a person, providing him shelter and protection. Cult of ancestors, ancestor worship has always been an integral part of Kazakh people's life. Their names have always been called for help. People made pilgrimages on their graves and made sacrifices there. Since ancient times, graves were considered as holy places in Kazakh culture. Even lonely travelers always try to lie down for the night near a grave where no one dares to attack them, being scared of bringing down ancestors' anger. Names of saint patrons, which belonged before to great people of past, served as a battle cry. Uran among the Kazakh people. One of such Urans was the name of a great Khan Abylai. Researchers claim that ancestors' cult appeared in the time of shamanism. It is described extensively in Shokan Valikanov's papers. Aruaks were kind to us and we managed to reach to the top of the mountain called Beishi Ana, which means dancing woman. Its top is marked with the stone which encrypted Surah from Quran. Visitors beg for health here. Further we can see another one place that is considered holy, Makabat Mountain. The way of a person on the road to Makabat Mountain is marked with several points. Reaching each of them, it is necessary to perform certain rituals and offer prayers for parents, for grandparents and a person himself. This symbolizes that the person passing this way passes it for himself and for his entire family from the first man on earth. Our crew spent the entire day in the holy mountains. Climbing on the slippery mountain slides, we tried to see the spirits, to become witnesses of a miracle, to receive a revelation from heaven. However, we didn't meet anyone except the local dogs. Nevertheless, despite the long-term exercise, everyone felt an inexplicable rise in strength and spirits. After visiting UNGURTAS, our whole crew felt unusual energy of this place. Yes, definitely this area is anomalous, but the reason of its magic will remain the mystery. It was the Time Puzzle with me, Sergei Alexeyanak.